Such a good song. Oh my gosh, I love this music. Oh man, hello, and welcome into another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It is Thursday, and we're looking out of a window somewhere in Indore. I don't know if the E's are pronounced in Indian. In whatever dialects they speak in India. But INDORE, India. In February of 2023, that's a long time ago. That was like before I was even something. I couldn't come up with anything creative. Anyway, welcome in. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you're having a great day. I already said that like 6 times, but I really do. Really do. We're going to get right to work. So I've been working with Copilot to style the rest of these pages. Right now, the one I am looking at is this load data page, and I'm trying to style it similar to the rest because it does some weird stuff every now and then. So like this little accent colored thing that you can barely see on the far left belongs on the title, which is going to happen now. Cool. Yay. All right. So we pretty much finished the load TRN page, which is fantastic. This is one of the primary pages that gets used by the user. So I need to apply the same thing here, which is dot page header. So let me just show how that looks in light mode. The thing that I really don't like is this hover, so let me fix that real quick. I don't like the moving. Yeah, okay, so I like that better. And when a file is hovered over, that looks like, yeah, I guess. I'm okay with it. Okay, so we have that. Let me unload a TRN so that I can re-upload it. I need to get this to refresh. But other than that, the upload TRN page or unload TRN page is also done, which is awesome. So when I drag over, then we get this nice display of it's processing the file and it shows up. We have our buttons up here. Clear actually does what it's supposed to do. So I can pick more files and it finishes and I can expand it and we get our data view so that they can modify any of the values that they want. And I also set it up so that, or asked Copilot to set it up so that it will expand into this bigger view so that they can modify as many files as they want in a little bit easier way. Why is scrolling up? That's very interesting. Why is scrolling up causing me to move right? That's very odd. Was it because I had a field selected somewhere over here? Interesting. Anyway, hello TVD Gamer, how are you doing? We'll give you a good shout out in a little bit. Perhaps when the viewer count goes up, if anyone knows what the viewer count is. I'm still thinking maybe we'll keep this. Yeah, we're going to keep that solid. So that one was the expand. Data table expand. And the data table expand, let's fix this border radius so that it is same border radius all around. Maybe make it just a little bit smaller. Like this. and get rid of the opacity. So it's always showing. Yeah, I like that. And maybe give it cursor pointer so they know it's interactable. Oh, thank you so much for your attempted message. Really appreciate it. My PT has changed to 8 a.m. so I can't do Tuesday, Thursday streams for the next 2 weeks. That's not long though. 2 weeks isn't a very, very, extreme amount of time. And I hope that that also gives you a little bit of your day free, that you're able to find something nice to do with it. At the same time, I know that you use your stream time to do your coding stuff because most of the day you're doing managerial type stuff or project management type stuff, which doesn't sound quite as fun, but I just hope that still gives you some freedom somehow, that it all works out in your favor. Okay, so that is the new load data page. Oh dear. I hope that that is just weirdness happening because we're in debug, but that was not very responsive at all. I think it's like all of the transition animations. Yeah, I am not a fan of the background transition and the text transition together. Hello, Zerg. But you'll appreciate this, says TBD. I'm going to be an AI evangelist at work. I've got to use AI for all the things, If you're going to be an AI evangelist, you are the person to be one, because you aren't just going to accept AI for what it is, for the way that people are using it. You have an opinion, a very strong opinion. I'm appreciative of your opinion, and I hope that you're able to leverage that when you are saying, instead of use AI for all the things, being like, I have found that here is how you can responsibly use AI. If you are new to the field, like I'm pretty sure this is your opinion / your feeling towards it. If you're new to the field, don't rely on AI to get your product done. Instead, use AI to show you how it implements the thing. Then you try to take what it makes and do it yourself. So for your AI evangelism, what I might recommend, if you're taking any kind of input on that, is encouraging people that are new to software development or not comfortable with their skills to make a clone, to pretty much fork whatever project they are working on, or they're tasked to work on, fork it, use AI on that fork, and then go back to the original project and hand type it in themselves. Hand type in what the AI changes were. That way, they're letting AI do the work, but then they're typing it in themselves and seeing, all right, here's what the AI did to make the changes. So I was keeping this one in my pocket because we still haven't, as a community, had a discussion about making some kind of standardization to how to responsibly use AI in software development. I don't want to enforce my ideals. I want to hear from the community. But that's one that I was holding on to bring up if we ever had that conversation. But especially in a professional work environment, one thing that we should encourage is if you are working in an area like me, I'm doing all of this UI stuff. If you are working in an area that you are not comfortable with, and you are relying on AI to help you along with that, then I recommend creating a fork of the repo. That way you can have them up side by side. or just having a separate folder, creating a branch and have a separate folder with the two different branches. Have AI do its magic on one branch, and then you copy it, yes, but by typing, not by click, drag, copy, pasta, but by typing it in. Yeah. So that was my thought. And now it's out there. Hopefully it's a good thought. Or you can take it, do whatever you want with it, ignore the whole thing, riff off of it, come up with your own ideas on a better approach. All of those things. But I'm excited about that. Very, very excited about it. Okay. Zerg was saying, actually first TBD said to Zerg, how's your Thursday treating you? And then TBD responded to me saying, absolutely, I have a chance to shape and I should take the chance. Absolutely. And you still have the chance to shape in this stream too. Just because I have differing opinions than you does not mean that yours are not valid, that yours are not worth listening to or worth even bringing up. I may bring up my counter opinions if they are counter opinions. Otherwise, I'll just support your opinions because they line up with my own. But yeah, you know me. You're definitely welcome to voice them here. All right, Zerg said in response to TBD, kind of meh, to be honest. Got another rejection letter today. Got stuck on every project I wanted to work on today. But I am going out with my folks to celebrate my birthday later for dinner. Well, happy birthday. I am happy about the last part. Haha. Then TBD said, sorry about the rejection. Happy birthday. And definitely a big ol' happy birthday to you, Zerg. I hope you're able to enjoy the celebration of your birth. It should be celebrated. These buttons are a little high. Okay, what was the thing that I was just now looking at? This button up here. I think we're done with this page. So I do want to look at these buttons though. They seem positioned high. Yeah, they have a margin bottom. I really am annoyed by this margin bottom crap that it keeps wanting to add. And that changes the size. That's no good. Mother truck. Mr. Falcon. Okay. This is called action button. So I'm working. If you guys could see the way that I work, so I have the SAS for the two reference, well, actually it's one reference page, which is this load data page that is finished, the SAS for the field data page that we're going to be working on, the razor for the field data page that we're working on, and then there's also this file picker, which I am I'm tweaking every now and then, but I think we're done with it, so I'll close that soon. So I have all of these files and windows open everywhere, but they make sense to me. I like having things in an accessible, easy to read place where I can just glance over and be like, oh, that's how that's doing that. But yeah, so we are looking at the action buttons, and we're getting rid of this margin bottom, which also means that we are going to get rid of the extra height that I put on the loader. So let's display the loader. Let's go here. And so the loader is the thing that I was showing that shows up a little earlier when you are in the process of loading a file. Come on, hot reload. Let me collapse this so that we can see it easier. There it is. Okay. So this is now too tall. So the way that I did it last time to size it, I'm kind of hard coding the size, but not really, but I am, and it's really annoying. Hopefully this change to get rid of that margin bottom will fix this, and we can just let it be sized auto. But you can see the rule where I am sizing the height of, or first of all, I need to find the height of the final, which is 38.391. So if we look at, is it you? No, it's you. If we look at this, you can see that I am sizing the height as, no, not you. You. Oh no. Wait, who is it? Who's the one that I'm putting the height on? We're in load data. Does anyone see a calc? This is very odd. I was sure that we were sizing the file name row when it has or when what's the name of you? Oh gosh, I don't know where I'm styling this. I remember styling this though. Let's see. Zerk says, as of right now, I have two choices. I can either go into a traineeship at a government organization, but is very broad and still doesn't guarantee a job, or I put in the energy, put in more energy into my company, whatever shape it'll take. This is assuming no other opportunities come up anytime soon. Zerk, do you live in the US by chance? And TBD is asking your company, question man? I don't need to know state, city, locale, nothing. Just wondering if you live in the US. Modern loader. Yeah, so it is modern loader. There is no calc. I'm just adding a padding to it. All right, I see. So it's this. Yeah. Okay, so if I took the padding completely off, dang it, it's still not small enough. And it's because of the font size. Oh, that's not going to be good. The font size of the loader. Because right now this is going to be something like 44, 48. I know how to do math, okay? Okay. Okay. So what would happen if we changed the size of the loader to just 1 rem? And then we have to wait forever. I don't know why hot reload is taking so long. All right, so 1 rem is way too small. I don't like it. 0.5. All right, and the only real way to tell, 36. The only real way to tell how nasty, I don't know what the word is, how odd it looks is when we actually test dragging in a file and it's loading. So 38.391. Yeah, so this is where I was tweaking it with a padding, and that padding came from modern loader. Okay, so modern loader padding, change you to 0.1, which is going to be too much most likely. 39.188. Excuse me, can you just collapse? Thank you. 38.391, 39.188. Yeah, this is not going to be a good way to style this. But the thing that I really want is just for the size to be close enough that there isn't a massive shift in the page. So what I mean by that is when the loader is not there, we can clear. I keep doing that. Let's and shift. Yeah, it's slightly smaller. I wonder if this would be more visible when you have multiple files. Like, let's try 4. No, not double click on them. I just opened 4 files. Interesting. I thought each file was supposed to finish when it finished. But yeah, I'm not angry at that. It's not super jittery and jumpy. So it should be fine. It should be fine. They're not going to notice too much. Okay, so we're going with that. Mini commit for a nice cleanup. Cleaned up file display rows and standardized file picker styles. And so the standardization of the file picker styles is that this styling was only applied to the file picker in load data, and I moved it into the file picker component itself directly. So now when we go to the field data page, it's the exact same file picker styling. The page looks pretty much the same. And we'll give it the same accent border, since it is another upload. Upload. I don't remember what it's called. Upload page accent. Wait, it is supposed to have it. Why it doesn't? Sí, como no. Oh. No, that doesn't make sense. Interesting. So we aren't actually getting to the page header. What am I missing? Plump Tardigrade is here. Hello, Plump Tardigrade. Not sure how long I'll be able to stay, but I'm here for at least a small bit. Also, happy birthday, Zerg. Awesome. Thank you so much. Tardigrade, Tardigrade, Tardigrade. Zerg says I live in the Netherlands, so no. But I'm also looking for opportunities abroad. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna provide a little bit of feedback on if you were in the US with your company. But yeah, since you're not, I can't. And then Zerg responded to TBD Gamer saying, Cross-Age Studio isn't in my company. I registered last year, providing training and consultation in AI technologies as I described it. Awesome. Then Tardigrade came in. Zerg says, I don't have a website yet. Me either. I have a website. I have a domain, but I haven't done anything on it yet. It's just kind of sitting there. So it'll be interesting to find out what I'm going to do with it. And then thank you to Plump Tardigrade. And TBD Gamer greeted Tardigrade. TBD Gamer said, get that website built, Slacker. You've got a massive market open to you. Yeah, you do. Zerg then said, I know, I'm the worst, but it is on the to-do to be finished up before mid-July, before I go to the US. And when you say you're going to the US, do you mean that you are going to travel or you're going to move? Like, are you visiting? Are you moving? We got your movies, refrigerators. Don't worry, I always sing it wrong. I know I'm wrong. TBD said, did you see that Copilot is struggling because people want ChatGPT even in orgs? I was reading earlier, seems like an image problem. Like Windows Copilot, is that what you mean? Oh yeah, you said you were gonna go visit your friend in Idaho, and you're only gonna be there. Sorry for not keeping track of that, but I do remember that you mentioned it before. ChatGPT has become synonymous with AI. I mean, OpenAI has done a really good job at balancing the guards on the models that they have trained and given them enough information that they are relatively smart. But again, for coding, it's really, really hard for me to want to pick anything other than Claude. I can't think of the name of their company. Oh, it's going to be so stupid. You're going to tell me and I'm going to be like, duh. How could I not have known? Field data page. It's because you aren't actually targeting them. Anthropic, thank you so very much. I told you. I told you. Absolutely the company name. Okay, so there we go. We have our styling there. It's just like their model, whatever they trained it on, and just communicating with it has been very pleasant for me. Whether it is through VS Code in agent mode or GitHub Copilot agent mode, or directly on the Claude website. It's a branding thing, in my opinion, says Zerg. Given that AI has been around for almost 30 years, if not more, in different forms, OpenAI brought it to the front of the normal, non-technical person. I think more or less came down to luck or timing. It could have been very planned timing. Potentially, as a possibility. Plump says, as a writer and librarian, I am not thinking friendly thoughts towards Anthropic right now. What happened with Anthropic specifically, and why not any of the other AI providers? But yes, hello, Gravidad Parkour. Gravidado Parkour. Yes, I know you've been here before. Otherwise, it would have told me. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding about that, but I meant sucking at words today. Anyway, been here before when I was trying to learn something to land a dev job, but now I'm back to university doing a bachelor in statistics in the University of Sao Paulo. Awesome. Well, I hope that that is a very, very productive experience for you. Again, university is not for everyone, but for those that do start it and stick with it and go through it, you will learn something. You will get something out of it. Whether it's just a piece of paper that companies will say, oh, you have one of those, cool, we'll actually look at your resume. Or it is the feeling that you were determined enough to stick with it and you graduated. I mean, I did that. It took me 9 years, but I did it. And I didn't really learn how to do software development in university. But then there are some people that do learn better using formal education, so you might actually pick up some coding skills, if not all of them. Tardigrade says, a judge just ruled in their favor that they could train their AI with copyrighted works without author consent. Yeah, you can definitely post an article. I won't bring it up today, but it'll be nice to have. Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy. So there are still a lot of regulations and stuff that don't make sense. It would be nice if we had a more, like, it's difficult for me because I couldn't care less about. No, that's hard to say. That's really, really hard to say. I could care less. I really could, because I empathize with the people that are in these situations. But at the same time, it's like one creative source. and kind of giving more accessibility to that creative source instead of hoarding it. It's like information. It's like, why hoard information? So that you can be better than the person next to you, so that you can be more marketable. So that, no, how about so that we lift each other up? So that I can help the next person next to me that is interested in doing similar things or having similar knowledge as me to have that knowledge, and so that I myself can benefit from other people's knowledge. Anyway, serve the nothing. Okay. Where are we? We are trying to finish the styling on load field data. Did I actually do the commit? I hope I did the commit. Nope, that's Copilot. No, I didn't. Okay. Improved. Oh no, wait, we are currently, so yes, I did do the commit and we're currently doing the changes to the field. That's fine. As long as you copy pasta the whole link, or just the part up to the text where you have the selected text. Yeah, I have it open for having screen reader read it, or not screen reader, what are you called? Read aloud. Browser extension read it to me later. All right. Yeah, so I guess I just need to test what it looks like as we're trying to upload a file and when that file is parsed and processed. So here is a fake data file 1. Wow, that's fast. Okay, so I have some issues with the table styles, as I almost always do have. Typically, this is caused by... Nope, it's not. Caused by dark mode not actually applying on the page when I make changes to it. The other thing that it could be is the targeting rules. So once again, the way that I'm doing this is I have my example load data page open. The styling for that, because this is pretty much exactly the same structure, except for its load field data. Kind of. I'm not super thrilled. Like, again, I've said this before, it matches the color scheme that I have throughout all of the applications as far as dark mode is concerned. I think the login page for RMA Water is just the regular ASP.NET login page. You need to get updated, dear sir or madman. But you can see the same kind of color scheme. This dark gray with slightly less dark gray, and what's the other one? Chain of custody. Yeah, so you can see it everywhere. It's consistent. Oh, you were mentioning the black text in the dark grid. But yeah, I'm gonna ask Copilot to help me come up with a better dark mode theme that I can apply across all of the applications, but I'm not quite ready for that because that would require being able to have all of the applications in a place where I can easily update the styling consistently across the board. Tacos! All right, did I miss any actual chats? But yeah, so if you have a follow-up, TBD Gamer, if you have a chance, I was wondering if your comment was related to Windows Copilot, or is it related to Copilot in Visual Studio / GitHub Copilot / all of the code copilots? Okay, that reads super fast though. So let's find out how this table is styled and how we can standardize this. Ooh, there is a next steps section. Cool. That's the other thing that I forgot to show. I didn't actually push the upload button. The thing that I absolutely love about this, I mentioned doing this yesterday, and so I had Copilot do it. Yesterday after the stream, I did end up working the rest of the day, and it was worth it. It was so worth it. But once the user picks their file, it gets processed. They can modify the stuff. They can do it in full screen mode. And they do the upload. Then it tells them, where would you like to go next? It asks. So typically, after the user finishes uploading, another article, can you summarize? After the user finishes uploading, it was just a, is it GitHub Copilot or Windows Copilot question? I don't want to read an article on stream. So after a user finishes uploading data, they're going to do one of these three things almost always. They're going to either do, not either, they're going to do a record check, they're going to do a chain of custody check, or they're going to go and edit the actual data itself. Typically, they won't go edit the data right away. They would only edit the data if there are record check failures. Awesome. Very cool. But that just like that one small thing, because like right now, this is what the process looks like. We are in test, right? Load, CAD, load data. Okay, so this is the current load data screen. They can only choose up to 4 files here, but in mine, they can upload as many as they want all at once. Load TRN. They don't have the ability to edit or modify. Then it says TRN's uploaded successfully. Okay, what do I do from here? Yay, they're uploaded successfully. And then they have to figure out, oh, I do record checks next. I mean, most of them are used to this, so it's fine. But yeah. Yeah. Interesting that it looks like it removed 2 of them. Oh, interesting. I think it really did remove more than 1 record. That's fun. Great, thanks, jerk. I have to restore the database. Dang it. Because we used to have 4 and now, or 5, and now if we re-get, then we still have, oh, this is my test, my dev database. Anyway, I think it's MS Copilot in general, and they all use Copilot as a service anyway. Artigrade says, I wish there was a dark mode for Google Docs that didn't require an extension. Google Docs doesn't have dark mode. I don't want to show my docs on the screen. Google Docs doesn't have a dark mode. Wow. You're absolutely right. Google Docs does not have a dark mode. However, there is an extension of it. Why do people want to use ChatGPT if that's the only response they're going to get from it? You're absolutely right. I think not very many people use OpenAI's products the way that we do. But it is a way that I can highly recommend using OpenAI's products, which I'll do so later, because right now I'm trying to style. Oh. Goodbye. Yeah. Okay. So it's Microsoft Copilot. I mean, it is true for me too. I would strongly prefer to use OpenAI ChatGPT. I use it on my phone. I have the app downloaded, and that's where I go if I want to talk, if I want to do stuff. I don't use Copilot really for anything. Microsoft Copilot for anything. I just wish that the branding didn't have to be so confusing as well. Okay, so we're going to try uploading a file. Well, first I need to fix the table styles. What am I thinking? First, I need to pick the right file type. So it recognized an invalid file. That's good. I think it crashes on XLS and XLSX at the moment. And it's because of CSV helper. I'm going to change this out to use Excel data reader because I'm more comfortable with that. Can you do regular XLS? No. Okay. So we get those. The actual error message you see here is there because we're in dev, so we're going to see that, but the user will only see an error occurred. Please check that the file is formatted correctly and try again. So I can't really have this extra stuff up here unless I actually do support XLSX and XLS. Here is our CSV file that loads just fine. Here's our, why are you .tab? You should be .tsv. That's an interesting extension. Okay, so again, it'll give us the error message, but for us, we're going to get the actual stack trace and stuff. If I chose a file that was, so like, here's the extent of testing that I do. This was an executable that I just changed to a CSV, and it's giving me the file size was too large. So I need to find a smaller executable. This is a chart document. Cool, good. And it's just telling me that it's got the wrong headers. And this is a poorly formatted file. Good. Okay, Zurg is saying, did you know you can use an ODBC connector to extract tables from Excel sheets and interact with them as you would with a database object? I did, but it also doesn't have to only be ODBC. There are a few other data connectors you can use. But yes. Absolutely, positively. I want this message. Do we want this message to be centered? It doesn't make sense to have the message be left aligned with this much space. So there's a couple of options. Cool. Zerg says true, but that's the one I know works when I need it. Awesome. What are you? What is your element? Yes. Class. Sample file. Do we have styling for sample file? It is right here. Okay. What if we changed you? What's your parent? Your parent is this wrapper, which kind of makes me want to make the upload files wrapper display flex. Well, because it's not, right? Otherwise we would have seen it. Yeah, we would have seen it like that. Flex direction column. Oops. I know how to type. Gap. 1 rem is a lot. Let's go with 0.5. Okay, still looks good. We're going to stay in light mode just because for whatever reason, it really likes to remove the dark theme class. Zerg said, oh man, I missed these. Zerg said, I have a local version of 5.4 and I'm pretty happy with the results it gives me, even when coding. No internet required for me. I haven't downloaded 5.4. I have Gemma, which has been pretty good. But I haven't been using it for coding. Coding. Gemma is what we're using for automated realms. Yes. Oh, great. Gotta check my work email. Good question. Okay, so we are switching gears for a quick second so we can address this email. I have a request from the client about RMA chain of custody, which I haven't opened in a while. So forgive me, I will be in focus mode until I finish doing the research on this and responding. Unless I'm sitting here waiting for stuff to open, then I will go ahead and pay attention to chat. So Zerg says, I use Gemma for image recognition for Lisa. Cool. Okay, inquiring minds want to know what data from treatment plants does... Can I just open this in a bigger screen, please? Yeah. All right, what information chain of custody and STRAC are pulling from the treatment plants database? Oh, is this going to be a good one to even look at? Because this one is in the middle of getting converted to .NET 8, and I don't think it's published yet. Hopefully all of my shared class libraries are the same. You don't have to worry too much about it. So allegedly you have access to the treatment plants database. Hi, Big Gamey. So just letting you know, I am in a little bit of focus mode while I do some research for the client, and then I will respond to chat soon enough. All right, so I am not seeing it used anywhere in chain of custody. Okay, then the other app is STRAC, which should be here, and it's in the project, so I definitely should have seen search results for it if it was being used. Maybe, hold on. Service extensions is adding the database. That's adding it to the project. Yeah, okay, so what I was really looking for was the dependency injection for it in the shared server project. And then this global vars is not going to be a great place for me to go on stream because of the way that the desktop apps were put together. Okay, water management conman. Okay, so none of those are actually used. I can show this on screen. I can show this on screen. Okay, so none of these were actually used. They are yeah, 0 references, which is weird. One of the so even the chain of custody connection is not used, but RMAED is. What are the chances these are in stored procedures? Hello, Dickasoft. Again, please bear with me while I do some research so that I can respond to the client as soon as possible. Oh, goodness. So there are no stored procedures being called. At least not that I can tell. Our main chain of custody. There are stored procedures in chain of custody, though. This is really, really hard to tell. Okay, if we look at our chain of custody service, we don't see any dependency injection for the treatment plants database, and allegedly, as BitGamey said, there is no call to a stored procedure. And you were all prefixed with CSP as well? Yeah. Yeah, so I don't see any. Our lookup lists, Armit Suite, chain of custody. Finally, the STRAC service is STRAC context. Okay, and in here, there is definitely no treatment plants. There's definitely no treatment plants or Watermon. Or what was the one that I just thought of? Oh, stored procedures, and no calls to stored procedures. Okay, so I'm going to respond. I should respond with, "You're absolutely right." It. Okay. Customer responded to. On to chat. So BitGamey came in. Dukesoft spoke for the first time. Let us go indeed. I was somewhere around here. Zerg says, okay, I'm going to get ready for dinner. Enjoy your dinner. Have a wonderful birthday celebration. I hope you and your parents enjoy your food. But yeah, so TBD says, take care, Zerg, and happy birthday. Tardigrade says, have a good evening and birthday dinner. BitGamey came in and said, allegedly. And I knew Dukesoft would take care of the shout out for me. Thank you so very much. BitGamey was playing some archery. And that was it. That's all that happened while I was in Duper Super Focus. And thank you so much for the TBD shout out. I was definitely planning on doing that. As we got further into the stream, and here we are further into the stream. Man. So perfect timing on your part, Dukesoft. You are the best non-bot bot ever. So good. So good. Okay. I don't know what to do about that. So we are back in load field data. We tested a whole bunch of invalid files. So let's go back to a file that is not invalid. And we need to get the dark mode styling on this table to match the dark mode styling on pretty much all of the other tables. I don't know why Copilot wasn't able to do that in this case when it had been doing it the whole time, other than I'm on a different computer. So it's a different context and session. Probably, yeah, and I'm using the same model. Weird. So what I'm looking at, as I mentioned before a couple of times, is the SAS file for the page that was already completed, which is this load data page. And I am applying essentially the same styles to the table. Let's just see if any of these have specific column names or targets, and it doesn't. So I really am just going to take this table here and copy it over to the load field data. Load field data. And then we're going to see if there's just something weird about it that is different. Okay, so this issue is because, like I said before, it keeps taking away the class equals dark theme whenever I make a change and hot reload happens. But there we go. We got the styles and it's doing what it should. Yay. Yatta. Full page loader. Aha. There was a change that I had to make to that as well, where I put the backdrop and full page loader into the full screen mode. Just this apparently. You need to come over here. I need my space. It's so claustrophobic. Field data. We're going to find the table, the backdrop. So it did put the backdrop in there, and it did put the interesting. It did put the this thing. What is this called? Collapser, expander thing, data table expand. So what's going on with the data table expand styling? Okay, so it's not that one. It's this one. Nope. Which is supposed to be inside of and full screen expand. Why? Why you must be a? Oh dear. Oh, this is not good. You changed this. Why didn't you follow the exact same? The exact same pattern. We have an existing pattern for how this should have been styled. Like it's exactly the same. I don't know what would be different at all. So let's do this instead. Let's do some collapsing so we can see where all of these are. Okay, full screen expanded and table, please. Which are inside of data rows. And in fact, we're going to take the whole data rows as well. And we'll still compare and see if we lose anything. Well, we shouldn't be losing anything. But at the same time, there's like all of this additional styling that wasn't anywhere else. So it doesn't make sense for it to be here. Okay, full screen, that's better. All right, give me the error messages again, just so that we can verify that we didn't mess up the styling for those. We didn't. Again, this is only showing up, all of the extra information is only showing up because we're in debug. Good, good. And the loader looks fine as well. Oops, too big of a file. Let's go with this one again. It took a second. It's so hard to tell, it's so fast. We'll just tell this thing to show me a row of loading blocks. Excuse me. Okay, it looks a little bit bigger because it's wrapping. Why are you wrapping? Because you did this thing. What are you called? You are called loading text. Loading text should not have wrapped. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Because again, I'm trying to make it so that it doesn't, the UI elements don't jump all over the place as we try to load files and stuff. Is this the upload files wrapper? Now this is file name row. Show me file name row. Show me file name row. Is that you? That's you. Yeah, I really don't like that it didn't use pretty much the exact same styling. It is the exact same styling. Yes. So we are going to make it the exact same styling. Oh man. When it rains, man. When it rains. When the rain comes. It runs on. Error row backdrop data rows. Why isn't next section inside of here? There. Okay, so that styling should match. But that takes away our div flex on upload files wrapper, which means that I'm not going to be able to do this the way that I was wanting to. So I can do margin right auto instead, probably. But I need to read this email. That's not helpful. Whew. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's see. We got a couple of dad jokes, but after the dad jokes, I need to respond to this email. Have you ever heard of a music group called Cellophane? They mostly rap. And Bestbot says a beekeeper was indicted after he confessed to years of stealing at work. They charged him with embezzlement. That doesn't even... Okay, we're getting some errors. An error occurred while executing the command definition. See the inner exception for errors. So we need to go to STRAC, which is an application that we are trying to get to so that we can convert it from a WinForms application to Blazor. And I've been derailed so many times that I haven't been able to do it. It's just one person. Ye all. Okay, which one are we going to open? This one. I'm over here just in case. Where's the WinForms app? This PC. D drive. RMA get. STRAC. Source. Previous version. STRAC Lite. Yes. Yes. I thought that I did open solution. All right. So what you are about to see is disgusting. Should never be shown on TV. This is a VB.NET WinForms app using .NET Framework 4.7.2. Gonna be wonderful, wonderful. So many emails. Okay. Oh man. So what we are looking for is an error message that says an error occurred. This is not going to show up while executing the command definition. Yeah, this isn't going to show up because that looks like an error message from the exception itself. So that's just not helpful. That's not helpful. The other error message we can look for is error loading COC IDs for import. Call DPRA. I want to see them try to call DPRA. Okay, so this most likely happens after the post. So what is the actual steps that she takes? She tries to post. Yeah, I love the descriptive. We're getting this error. Do you know what's happening? Goodness. Sample data. So it's going to definitely be on this form. It's just whether or not it is easy to find the method that is going to call it. It is this post, and that is defined here. Perfect. Mod, save COCID. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Marvelous. Look at this. Treatment plan. Yeah, water management. I'm going to go back here just in case this thing tells me that there are other references to this. Error. Probably something wrong somewhere. Probably. That is a gigantic tomato radish. What is it? It's a Shambu 3 bug boogie blast curse. Yeah, this is definitely wrong because I just saw the RMA chain of custody context. Oh, being referenced directly from the connection manager. Mother Falcon. All right, but what if we search for this? We should see more. Good. All right. So this is what we would have seen if the treatment plant's context was here. No one really knows. I thought strawberry. Yeah. They just didn't have the speckles. I was like, what is smooth and red and shaped like a strawberry? A radish tomato. Okay, so sample data, we are wait, was it really save COCID? When you do post, you do save COCID. What? So we get the file name. So far, there's nothing that says on error go to. Yeah, so if we hit an error, error saving. Nope, that says error loading. Interesting. We get the file name. Interesting. We look up the, oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Straw tomato. Absolutely. Is, All right, we're gonna go until 11:30 so that I can fully focus on on the issues that are coming up and make up for some time. If it helps, the pop-up appears after clicking the COC tab on the opening screen, not the post button. Once I enter the COC window, I do not have the ability to import COCs, let alone post them. I can see exported COCs and edit them. Hopefully that helps narrow things down. Once I enter oh my gosh, what are these words? I am not processing words right now. Close, Big Amy, close. Okay. Notepad. Hey, a notepad. All right. If it helps, the pop-up window appears after clicking the COC tab, which is a menu item. Okay, so clicking the COC menu item on the opening screen, not the post button. Okay, so this is the STRAC application that they are working with. It is a desktop application that I am trying to get over to Blazor. So what she is telling me is when she clicks on the COC tab, on the opening screen, not the post button, once I enter into the COC window, which is where we are now, I do not have the ability to import COCs, let alone post them. I can see exported COCs. How do you see exported COCs? And edit them. I don't know what that means. I can see exported COCs. Like exported COCs would be this window, I'm assuming. The ones that have already been sent. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so these would be the exported COCs that can be edited. The import COC process, and there's no way to get back to import COC other than closing this window and reopening, which opens on the main display. Yeah, so then she is not able to import. And to import, you pick a thing, you double click on the thing, and that is the import process. And then post. Okay. Okay, send that. Woo, what a fun day. You think you're gonna finish the thing you've been working on all week, and then, you know, something new comes up and it's like, hey, we need you to look at this. And then immediately after that, hey, we have an issue in an application that's probably been there for a long time. And I'm just now telling you about it because someone else tried to reach out to you and mentioned your name. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to ask him a question. Goodness. So we need to find out whether there is a permissions difference between the person that is experiencing this issue and, let's say, mine, or maybe her leads. It would be nice if I could have a browser somewhere. I got like 16 of them open. Userman, which I just recently updated the UI for the userman, which I'm really happy with. Userman.triadic syncdom. And it now looks like this, and it's easier to use, easier to see things. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Okay, moving on. Wait. Oh, wait. I can't do that. That's a secret. Problem is that my deployment of it is broken. Combate, Big Gamey. You got this. You're gonna win. First try. Watch. First shot. First shot. Do we got it? Is it a go? Do we win? Maybe second. Okay, here's what I need to do. I need to stop userman on IIS. Could have sworn I tested this. Stop. Stop userman on IIS. Take the current version of userman. Actually, no. This one's broken. Delete everything. And oh. And oh. Did you do it? Did you win? Then we pull over. Close, but no cigarettes. Red tail U. Userman. Okay, does test work? Am I crazy? I mean, yes, but yes and. You guys do what you're supposed to do? Yes, good. Good. Big Gamey said close but no cigar. Oh, I thought you said something else. I thought you added more to it. All right. And then we can start userman again. Stato. Okay. And finally, we test to see if it runs. It doesn't run. Why is userman not running? Are you talking to the wrong database? Correct database. Do we need a different certificate thumbprint? You there. No. You there. Certificate thumbprint is this. Same. What are the settings? It's nearing the end of the week. My energy level does not allow adding more to anything other than my coffee cup. Nice. I would like to have some too, please. Do you have a spare coffee cup? Can I has? All right, let's get rid of the identity server garbage. That's gone. Log level. Good. Trust server certificates. Good. Correct servers. Right. Name of the database connection. Aha. That was an issue before. I remember. You don't have to tell me. I got it. Oh, I has plenty. You can has. Aw. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Okay. User management. Go. This page is not working. Mom is not working. Actually, my mom isn't either. She's retired. Hopefully enjoying her life. Oh my gosh, what is that? It's even using the wrong database. Not just the wrong database connection name, but the wrong database. What even? All right, one more stop and start. This is like trying to jumpstart a car, or so I've heard. Never actually tried it. What is going on? Why you no work? User man. Oh, because I was in the wrong one. I should have known that I was in the wrong app settings on the server when I saw that the connection string was also incorrect and not just the connection string name. Little derpy. Give me a second and I'll catch up. Okay, habanero. Habanero. Oh, that's promising. We got an actual error response this time. Which is a 503 service unavailable. Where are we getting a 503? You don't make any sense. Trusted connection. Trust server certificates. Correct database names. Multiple active result sets. Regular app settings? You're still in the wrong folder. You're gonna break stuff. Oh, kid, pay attention to what you're doing. User management connection. Absolutely the correct name. You are the correct names. Everything here is good. Serilog is configured. No, I wasn't talking to you. Error logs? Event log? Why 503? Tell me what's going on with this application, please. Error in application, user management. .NET 9 is not installed as a hosting framework on the production server. Oh, how do you get to other versions of .NET now? They updated the site so that it's more beautiful. I don't know how to get to other versions. Which one of you... Does it get started? No. Oh, okay. I thought that was a button that actually downloaded it right away. All right, all .NET 9 versions, hosting package. So this is what I'm doing on the server. I'm downloading the hosting package. I pointed at x64, but I was actually pointing to the hosting bundle. And I'm installing that. And then I'm going to try to run the application with the correct runtime. Go figure. Are you going to start downloading, though? It would be nice if... Oh. Right. It would be cool if installs .NET hosting .NET 9 I get to be a server admin. Yay! I agree. Install. Yes. How is everyone's Thursday going? If anyone feels like responding. If you don't, that is absolutely okay. I am distracted already, so yeah. Okay, so I stop and start userman. I try accessing userman. The application says loading. It loaded. All right, can we log in? It's going busily, trying to be productive, but I need more coffee, says Big Gamey. Loading. Awesome, great, fantastic, wonderful, marvelous, it worked. I am in user management in production. Thank gravy. Right, all right. Manage users. My dashboard takes me directly to manage users, and I don't have to guess which one of these icons on the left is manage users. Just to show you again, this is pretty much the UI that I am interacting with. Man. So instead of trying to figure out which one of these is my manage users, I just have a dashboard that says, which one of these things do you want to do? I want to manage users. Duh. All right, and we need to figure out what permissions you have for RTRAC. Can I open this in a separate tab? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So I can do side-by-side comparison of permissions. Oh, that's nice. And I forgot I have a filter up here. So I'm going to use that to find the accounts that I need. Oh, this is so nice to work with now. I don't think you understand. Like, I threw together the original user management page a long time ago, just because I needed a way to be able to add and remove permissions from users, add users to roles, add roles to applications even. Okay, so yeah. There's a big issue with her permissions. There's a very big issue with her permissions. All right, STRAC. Give her permissions as a invoice, deprayer, data packet viewer, CSV air, lab, interesting, and Qt upload. Okay. Did that actually make her database? Do you log permissions changes? I should. Like, there's so much to do as far as app insights, auditing, all of that stuff. We don't have a lot of users, so I don't really track it very much. I just change their permissions as I need to. But I really have been thinking about auditing. One of the things that can change is the username of a user, and there are plenty of applications that, like, for example, the RTRAC database has this TBL lookup users. Where are we? TBL lookup username. And in here, it uses their username from the identity table. And that was because of the way that they had the permissions set up originally, which is, I don't know if you saw, but this is a desktop application. And so the database connection string was inside of the application itself. And the login form that you get is your SQL username login to the SQL server database. And so this application still uses that because I haven't had the opportunity to convert it yet. We are moving to just using ASP.NET Core Identity, but for now, this application still needs to support SQL users. So I need to log into the actual production database, my database. Thank you so much for your question, Melina. Right, logging into production database on another screen. Archer Lee. We really need to have an Archer Lee. That'd be cool. It would be. Okay, security, logins, the user in question. We make sure that the SQL login matches the username in our identity table. It does. She is verified. She has the correct permissions there. All right, and now her user mapping for STRAC. She has all of the permissions she needs in the database. She didn't respond to my email though. Is my email stuck? No, not stuck. So I just verified all of your permissions and they match other persons. Are you trying to use STRAC off-site? How do I word that? So all of the applications, that access the database directly or any resources, the only way that you can access server resources from your local computer, from a remote computer, is if your IP address is approved to access the server. So what I need to ask her is if she is trying to access, if she's trying to use the application from home or from somewhere that isn't at work. I haven't been trying too many extra things. Harish, hello, welcome in. But no, tell us about it. Tell us about your experience with it. So Harish was asking, have you tried new Gemini CLI, which basically is free? Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it. I didn't know that it was going to be a thing. So tell us about it. And don't give me a link. Just tell us about it. Man, but that doesn't, wait, that doesn't make sense because she said that she's able to go into, dagnabbit, I am not doing very well at clicking. I don't know who's going to use the terminal only AI. Anyone that wants to add AI to their application and just have it use PowerShell commands, maybe? That would be a guess. Edit COC. I wonder if she needs STRAC Manager for this. It wouldn't make sense to require STRAC Manager. Yeah, we need to see what this thing does in order to load, I guess. Yeah, let's look closer. Form load. If user is successful, or if it equals STRAC, then you the decisions that were made. Mod load, COCs. Okay, so it really is just loading from the chain of custody database where chain of custody type is S. That, since she has access, you know what? I'm going to delete her user from STRAC and then re-add it again. That should help with it. You there. Delete. Not you. So, sorry if it feels like I am ignoring you a little bit, Harish. I am trying to resolve an issue that the client just reported to me, and they are trying to get some work done. I will read your message. Promise. Megan. You there. User mapping. Come on. STRAC. Air CSV. Data reader. Data writer. Rare. Lab. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to wait for her to respond. I'll keep STRAC nearby, but it's just really odd that she's getting errors. Here's the exception, or an exception. Oh gosh, I wish this said what method the exception was coming from in the UI. That's so dumb. And all of the log, so like even if I had logging turned on, all of the logs would be on her computer because we don't have anything like App Insights. And this is a desktop application. This is so dumb. But this is definitely the query that is failing on her. What does it look like when she opens edit COC? How is this list populated? Here, form select COC. That is you. Form events on load, mod load COCs, which is COC list result.get queryable, which is select from RMA2 COC IDs, which is different than the table we're selecting from here. Yeah, this is the COC head, COC, and RMA. Wait, that's save. This is so confusing. Wait. She doesn't have permissions to chain of custody. This is selecting from the chain of custody table. Why didn't you guys tell me? Not the STRAC table, the chain of custody table. Okay, I need other dude. I need his stuff again. User mapping. This guy. User mapping. RMA chain of custody. Why is the schema his name? That doesn't make any sense. Dang it. It looks like she has permissions to it. Thank you so much for the follow. I am currently in the middle of trying to track down an issue that is happening with VB.NET WinForms application that is in progress to get converted over to a Blazor app, but I have so many other applications to work on that I haven't quite done it yet. But yeah, the user is not able to get data the way that they're expecting. Security, users, the user that I am concerned with. Delete. If you are new, if this is your first time here, my name is OneLion. Well, my username is OneLion, but I go by 1Lion, 1Lion, 11Lion, 11D Lion, 2 Lion, 3 Lion, whatever else you want to call. I ask that you're kind about the names that you call me, but you can call me whatever you want. I might not respond to everything though. Come on, Eileen. Not much. How are you doing, Magradahi? I hope we were able to answer all of your questions yesterday. You are most welcome. I am working in SQL Server at the moment, which is why you don't see anything happening on screen. I don't want to show our production database on screen. Yeah, and everything else gets checked. Okay. Ooh. I hope this works. I hope it works. What do my permissions look like? I guess. Oh, my permissions are going to be insane. That's what they're going to look like. Yeah, you did. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have you ever measured your IQ? Nope, I sure haven't. It's not something I really concern myself with. The only reason I can see that I would ever choose to do it, again, everyone has their own reasons, I'm just saying why I would, is to determine if there is something I can do to improve it, but I'm overwhelmed at the moment with all of the things that I want to do with life, so I don't want to add something else. Not at the moment. Those IQ websites, so weird, man. Some says 120, some says 160, some says 105. They all fake. Yeah, I don't know anything about those. I can tell you about personality websites and the ones to avoid and the ones that well, I guess not anymore. I haven't been doing as much learning and keeping up with that anymore either. Again, super duper busy. Yeah, you have all of the right permissions here. I don't see why she wouldn't be able to get the list of these. She has permissions to this database. This table doesn't, these tables don't need anything special to access them. The other code that I was looking at was using the RTRAC table or database, and that one is working fine, which means that her database permissions are there. Warlock Dev says, this is cool content. I had to convert an old VB.NET desktop app to a web app last year. Oh, wasn't it fun? What technology did you use as the web, what you converted it to? Coding is so cool, man. It can be. It can also be just as frustrating as any other job. I find joy in the frustration. especially if the frustration eventually leads to getting it, getting the thing that I'm trying to do done. So, but well, did I say Warlock? Worlchi? How do you pronounce your name? I like Warlock though. Would you mind me calling you Warlock? So this is another application. Let's do test. This is another application. This was the first one. I guess I should say the progression. This application started off as a VB6 application. Then when I got here, I converted it from VB6 to VB.NET WinForms and using .NET Framework because that's what I was familiar with. This was around 2017, 2018. Once I got all of the applications updated and migrated, I saw that Blazor was coming out in 2018, 2019, or not coming out. I mean, Blazor had been around for a little bit by then, but the official WASM release was 2018, if I recall. And so I started using that and converted the VB.NET WinForms version of this application to this. And this looks drastically different than what the VB.NET WinForms app looked like. This is like a million times different. I'm not going to say better. Next.js, we moved the DB from Access to MySQL though. Complete rewrite, but I had to translate a bit of the business logic from VB.NET to TypeScript, yeah. So I do enjoy that kind of work. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. This job has been nothing but modernizing legacy line of business applications. I don't get bored from coding and I can't study in school. It's like superpower. Awesome. John Carmack said, drink soda, eat pizza, and program 18 hours a day. Like you did, man. Except that I didn't really drink soda. I drink water, which is almost empty. I drink water all the time. But yeah, so, I mean, I could, not really. I am in the middle of resolving a client issue. So this is actual work product, by the way. This application that you're seeing here on screen is the last remaining desktop application. The other application that was a desktop, so we had 4 total desktop applications that I moved over to web, was Test Water Man. So this water management website was a VB.NET WinForms, or VB6 to VB.NET WinForms to Blazor. Goodness me, brain. You gonna wake up anytime soon? And yeah, so I'm not much of a UI person, if you couldn't tell. This is all just, I found something that kind of worked, and then I applied it to all of the applications that I'm converting and updating. But the application that we're currently working on stream is RTRAC. This is what it currently looks like in production. Well, this is the test site, but it's also the production one. And so it's been like this since about 2005. It was a JSP application that I took to .NET Framework 4.7.2 MVC application. And now we're moving it from this to Blazor. And that currently looks like this. So this is the same application. I kept this top menu so that I wouldn't jar the users too much. They're already used to seeing the menu items at the top. But eventually they will get used to this quick actions section, and then maybe we can look at revamping the menu after a while, after they've gotten used to this kind of layout and styling. But I don't mind the menus so much anymore. It's pretty easy to navigate, but it's just not very modern. Not that I'm a great designer or anything. So most of this UI design is coming from ChatGPT, from OpenAI. No, from Copilot. Come on, brain. The majority of the UI is coming from Copilot doing a lot of UI UX work for me. My portion of the work is all the backend logic, converting the code over from MVC controllers into service classes. Do I freelance on the side? I am 100% freelance. Like yeah. But yeah, more chat. Let's see. Really, man, I get so bored in school and I can't study. So yeah, I struggled a lot with formal education, but I did make it through. I stuck with it, got my degree, made it through. That's about all I did. I got a couple other things from university too. President Nachur said to Magradahi, I find all of this advice to not be specifically too good. I agree. And Magradahi said, yeah, man, agree with you, but I admire people who work hard. And President Nachur said, of course. I just think there's such a thing as working too hard. Yeah, and consider that. So you escaped 9 to 5? Yeah, ish. I mean, I'm still working on a schedule that kind of fits 9 to 5, but it is my own schedule, which is really nice. But I wouldn't call it an escape. It was the work environment itself, the people, the managers, just the managers in this case, because I didn't really have team members. I had one junior dev for a little bit, and they changed out a couple of times. So instead, what I did was I got to set my own level of, I guess, my own standard. Yeah, without having to answer to people that don't have the same level of quality standards as I do, or customer facing standards. Do you think AI will replicate the junior or mid-level developers? Right now, what AI is doing for me, what I have been using it for, as you just heard, is doing a lot of the UI work, the stuff that I'm weak at. And it's getting me like 80 to 90% of the way there. And I do whatever cleanup I need to do. Since this is a work product, any code that it generates, I am going through it and making sure that it does fit the application, that it's standardized across multiple pages. So it's not just Copilot add these styles, like what you saw me doing. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, what you saw me doing was moving over the styles from one of the pages that's completed into this other page that's exactly the same. And in doing so, I am also reviewing the way that the styles are set up in that page. I'm going to leave this open. Okay, hold on. So I will interrupt myself and respond to the customer, because they are very important to me. I love my client and I want to do their work. If we don't know what it's doing, we're fucked up with a TH. Yes, cool. Thank you for saying so. It is the ambiance that I want to give off. It's an environment that I want to foster. I would love to have a community of people that are just laid back and appreciative of each other, as opposed to purposefully trying to troll, etc. Okay, so she's telling me that when she tries to go here, she can now see the import chain of custody button, but she is getting the message no items to import. Hold on. I'm going to bring her message over onto the screen so that I can read it a little bit better. Restarted my PC after you recreated my user info. I still get the pop-up when opening the COC tab on the main screen. I have the ability to click on import, but I get a window saying that there's nothing to import. We have COCs that have been submitted in our COC program. Yeah, so I wonder if she is, and I didn't finish reading the message, and I need to read the whole message. Dagnabbit. So I wonder if, no, because it's automatically selecting the first chain of custody record. Okay, so tell me more. But I get a window saying that there is nothing to import. We have chain of custodies that have been submitted in our COC program that should be ready to export from the program and imported into STRAC. This makes me think that my account is unable to pull those chain of custodies into STRAC. I have the ability to click Edit COC button to make changes to COCs that have already been posted. Not sure, but it seems like the problem is the communication path between the COC program and STRAC via my user account. Hope this helps clarify. Let me know if you need more info. Okay, so the more info that I want is whether or not she has chain of custody records showing up in the select box. Okay. What is this called? Yeah, let me get out of this before I accidentally save. Yes, I am sure I want to exit because I am connected to the production version now. So I am going to ask her if she has, no, give me a rectangle select, please. If she has records in this select box. So let us grab a screenshot. Screenshot. Let us edit our screenshot. Yeah, I've been told I look like a lot of people because I have a pretty standard normal person face, I guess. Shapes, rectangle, outline. Let's make it blue. No, let's make it pink. Too close. Too close. Why? Oh, why? Thank you. There we go. Copy. Oh, and maybe an arrow. Hello, C Films. Welcome in. The one on the right, the one to the right of, anyway. Pause that. Goodness me. What if I need to go back into the database? What if the permissions, because I don't know how to explain this very well without you seeing the database itself. Can we see permissions in mine? Did I import roles at least? So this is my copy, STRAC, security. All right. No, roles. Okay. Database roles. Not you. Chain of custody. Man, this is so difficult. They're all over the place. There are all of these roles that were created a long time ago, and they are associated with the different sites, the different contractors that were doing sample collection and stuff. This was way back when there was still a lot of work to be done on cleaning up the chemicals and stuff from the soil and water and air. So there were all of these contractors that were all doing the cleanup effort, doing the soil sampling, doing the water sampling, and sending these to labs, to different labs. And so Navarro is the only one that exists anymore. Well, I guess we also have our state agency that now is doing stuff. They're also doing sample collection and sending those off to labs. And I think is EPA in here? Interesting. Oh, and we have Fish and Wildlife. So anyway, point is, the users needed to have the correct contractor roles and the correct roles for STRAC as well. So this database here is the one where we collected the samples, we inputted in through the web app called Chain of Custody, RMACOC. So this application here is the one that we are entering them in. And if we look at the submitteds, we will see that there are 2 submitteds. And those 2 submitteds are the ones that show up in this application, the STRAC application, that is used to post messages to the lab so that the lab knows that there are samples on their way in the mail, in sealed packages and stuff with chain of custody documents inside of it that say, if the seal is broken, then do not use this sample kind of situation. But we see 04214 and 04215, which match up with these 2. They are getting sent to different labs. What is CG? That is very interesting. They're getting sent to different labs. And so this one is hazardous waste and landfill 2025. So if we were going to look at 04214, we would use the hazardous waste landfill 2025. And then we would import it like this. And this is the process that the user that is experiencing the issue is trying to do. However, it seems like this is empty. Oh, goodness me, no. Dios mío. Hold on, 20 seconds. Thank you so much for the follow. Really, really appreciate you. I'm sending a message back to her. I'm not going to have mental availability until I resolve this user's issue, but I'll do my best to respond to you. Who do you think is the best software developer? I don't think the same way that you do, I don't think. I have a very... I don't do comparisons very much as far as who is better than who or anything like that, because I don't really concern myself with that type of thing. What I do concern myself with is there information that I can learn from you, or yeah, or is there information that you would like from me that I can give? But who's better than who, what language is better than what other language, what IDE is better, not really in my box of things that I care very much about. I mean, maybe there's someone and you just said this guy is an alien? Maybe? I mean, like, Lev is cool, but he's not great at software development. And I don't know that he's an alien. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little confused too, President, not sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say like, yeah. Even if we're talking AI or any entities that might come through while you're communicating through AI, I don't think they are like extremely good, like so good that you can just trust whatever it gives you. I think that they are good as partner programmers, as developers that you work with. But yeah. I don't know if that's what you were getting at, but that is something that I talk about often. I wonder if I can. That's something you could look up. There are plenty of videos about that. I would refer you to some, but I don't have any off the top of my head. But essentially, you have a file that is your model that contains information about how to choose the next, like if it's an LLM, let's say, how to choose the next word. So just in its most simplistic form, it will take your input and it will do this thing called inferencing, which is where it takes your input, breaks it up into features and into tokens, and each of those tokens is fed through this system, and a prediction is made at multiple steps within the prediction based off of a number of factors that are called parameters. And we know the intro that goes in, so we know our input that goes into this thing, but we don't know what happens necessarily in the middle layers. They're called hidden layers. So there's all of this statistical analysis that happens for how to choose the path to get from here to this output value that you get. So we know the last node as well, and we see the final output based off of that. And then we also have ways to inject these things called LoRa's in the middle of this inferencing process. So we add some layers that say also augment your decision making, your statistical analyses, by using this other model, this other set of weights to make those determinations. Come on, Megan. Okay, so we're gonna leave AsTRAC open still. Yeah, and I probably should end very soon because I do want to get I do want to keep all of my focus on my client, and they are currently asking me for a lot of stuff. I need to review a document that was just sent back to me regarding the information that I sent to them about all of our applications and how they interact with each other, how they talk to each other. And I need to verify that what they put together is actually how things are set up. Interesting. Interesting. It's a very interesting diagram. Okay. So if you want to talk more about AI in depth, then I am going to end my stream here. Then tomorrow is a beautiful day to do that. We typically have a lot of discussions on Community Day. And so what Community Day is on this stream is 2 hours of stream that is just focused on topics that you want to bring up, things that you want to talk about. As I mentioned, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I am doing client work. So I am working on actual applications that I get paid for by my client. So I try to do that work. But the reason that I stream it is because I'm a solo developer and have been a solo developer for a really long time. So I don't get very much feedback on things that I'm working on from people that are also knowledgeable and have differing opinions of how to approach things. So I really, really like the feedback that I get from streaming the work product. I'm not trying to do it to be like, hey, look what I'm doing. Isn't it cool? I do it because something that you might have an opinion on how to do. Typically what does happen during the streams though is that people want to talk about the things that they are interested in talking about, which is awesome, but I prefer to save those for Friday community days. That's what I reserve. That's why I do community days, is because I don't want to just take. I want to also give back. So that's what community days are for. We can continue the conversation on AI if you want tomorrow. But Marcus Voice Coder did have a great statement on this, which is, I don't think AI is aware. Think of it more of a text calculator. We can talk more about that. I have another viewpoint that you might consider. I don't think you're wrong, but I also don't think you're fully right either. I think that there is a lot more to it. That's where I'm going to leave that. Magradahi said, "You're so kind, and always you are giving answers, man. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Knowing that, please consider when you ask questions as well. Try not to take too much advantage of me doing that, because then I just get frustrated, and you'll see it." So if I do make mention that there is a task that I want to stay focused on, then I would just ask that you hold your questions that are directed towards me. If you have questions that you want to ask everyone, awesome. But if you're trying to ask me a question directly and I've already said that there's this thing that I want to focus on, just please hold off on your question until I have completed that thing. And then I would be happy to respond to it. Otherwise, I will feel that obligation. No, again, asking questions is absolutely invited and wonderful. But you can also direct it to the rest of chat. We have a lot of knowledgeable people here that might be available to answer. Maybe a lot of us are, or a lot of them are just chilling and lurking and such. Holy cow, Finite. I was gonna raid Finite, but he's got like 1 million viewers, and I don't want to put myself in the spotlight at the moment. I kind of just want to raid and run so that I can review these. We are going to raid out, and we're going to raid out to Sorcery Story, who is a fantastic developer. She is a game developer using Godot, making this cool little RPG, whatever it's called, strategy style game. We are going to do a shout out for Finite though. Finite Singularity typically works on OBS extensions and plugins and stuff, and he's doing some really cool work right now on a shader type thing. It looks awesome. So I'll be lurking in his stream. I'll be on Sorcery Story stream, in Canny's stream, and who is this? Stony Eagle stream. But yeah, that's it for me for today. Join us again tomorrow for Community Day. If you're interested in seeing what Community Day is like and you haven't seen one, feel free to check out a VOD on my YouTubes. I do have all of the VODs from our streams posted to YouTube immediately after the stream. So if you missed today's and you want to see it as well, then you'll see it there on YouTube. So of course, you'll also see it in Twitch because VODs and stuff. Okay, but that's it for now. I'll see you the next time I see you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.